What the Virgin revealed in Litmanova and what the Vatican censored from the Forum of the Virgin Mary. In July 2025, the Vatican approved the devotion to the Virgin of Ljitmanová, Slovakia. The Commission did not find theological errors, recognized its fruits, and gave way to public worship. But in the final report, there was something that was omitted, probably with intention. It was not mentioned that this appearance included clear warnings about the end of times. In Slovakia, in the 1990s, the Virgin not only spoke of prayer and purity, she spoke of the devil, of the punishment that is coming, of the trial that has already begun. She showed Jesus crying. She said that the world is in the hands of the devil, and she shouted urgently, "They have little time." Today, the messages of Litmanova resonate with a prophetic force that Rome cannot deny, but he preferred not to mention. Here we are going to tell you what really happened in the Apparitions of Litmanova. On July 9th, 2025, the Dicastrium of the Doctrine of the Faith of Tuco Fernandez granted the Nilo Fat to the Marian devotion, arisen in Montesvar, near the town of Litmanova in Slovakia. The Greek Catholic Church of the Byzantine Rite examined the messages without finding errors and found numerous miracles and healings. The apparitions took place between 1990 and 1995, just after the collapse of communism in Eastern Europe, and many people wanted to know more about God. But Tuco Fernandez forgot to say that in this apparition there were warning messages about the end times. They began on August 5, 1990. Heidelkar and Katkar, two teenagers aged 12 and 13, spent the day in the mountains. They played, sang, lit a bonfire, and when the afternoon fell, they took refuge in an old wooden hut. Suddenly they heard strange noises in the forest, footsteps, blows, metallic shakes, and they panicked. Then they remembered what a priest had told them in religious class. When you are afraid, pray. And they did. Our Father, Hail Mary. And a spontaneous prayer, Kid Becca said for the first time, "Mary, our Mother, hide us under your mantle." At that moment, a glow illuminated the room. At first they thought it was the sun, but in the center of that light appeared the Virgin Mary, sitting on a bench in silence and watching them. They did not speak. They just looked at her, until Katkar broke the silence. "Do you see something on the bench?" he said. "Yes," Hidlikar replied. "I see the Virgin Mary." And when they left the cabin, the Virgin accompanied them in silence along the way. And when they reached the entrance cross to the village, she knelt down, made the sign of the cross, and disappeared slowly. That night no one believed them. The parish asked them to be silent, but soon a sign arrived. Katkar's mother dreamt of the Virgin, who told her, "Do not doubt anything, just believe." In a subsequent appearance, the girls asked her name, and she replied, "I am the Immaculate Purity," and she also said, "I come from heaven." Thus was born the devotion to the Immaculate Purity of the Ljitmanova. At first it appeared several times a month, especially on Sundays and holidays. And from 1991, the first Sunday after the first Friday of each month, it appeared on the hillside during the prayer of the Rosary, dressed in white and gold, with a blue cloak, barefoot, with a crown and a rosary in hand. The Virgin sat on a wooden bench, prayed with them, and at the end she spoke to them inside. The girls entered in ecstasy, with their eyes fixed, without blinking, and completely oblivious to everything that surrounded them, and outside the faithful were waiting. And after the apparition, the girls announced the message by microphone. Then the divine liturgy began. The mountains was full of pilgrims. Many arrived with faith and were transformed. In the first year, more than 1 million people had already ascended in the country of just 6 million inhabitants. The Virgin blessed a spring about 100 meters from the cabin at the beginning of the apparitions. She said that her waters would serve for spiritual healing and protection in difficult times. Thousands began to wash and drink with faith, and over the years, proven physical healings were documented. During the apparitions, a child psychiatrist measured the pulse of the girls, 130 and 123, abnormally high at rest. The girls did not respond to external stimuli. A priest took them a photo with a flash directed to the eyes. They did not react, and then they did not remember it. They did not react to sound or physical contact either. They talked to them, touched them or made gestures close, and nothing. And one day at school, Hadusia had an unexpected manifestation. During recess, he saw a bright heart. He returned to the classroom, placed his rosary on the table, and began to speak in verse, as if it were another voice. The Virgin spoke many times about the diseases. Some are allowed as a redemptory cross, others as purification. But she also said clearly, sin causes many diseases, and to those who asked for healings, she gave precise instructions. Pray the rosary every day, fast Wednesday and Friday, wash yourself with spring water, pray to the saint of baptism, and an apostle offered the divine liturgy, and added, put the diseases in the wounds of Jesus, and he will do whatever he wants within you. The Virgin did not come to Litmanova just to console. She came to wake up, to shake, and her words were increasingly clearer, stronger, more dramatic, and apocalyptic. She said, the devil has the world in his hands for many years. And she insisted, they have little time, and then it is still the moment, taking refuge in conversion. And she repeated it twice, as if she knew that we were not going to take it seriously. And she warned, my son will send a disaster to Slovakia, but if you pray sincerely, the disaster will cease. And she clarified why. My children, they have too many possessions, and therefore they do not honor my son or me. The fruits of materialism, she said, are spiritual death. Men have great quantities of everything. Once she appeared with Jesus in her arms, he was crying, and she explained very few people sacrifice themselves like him. People kill themselves for having more things, and their hearts are empty. In a vision, the girls saw the faces of the dirty people. This is how their souls are, said Mary. That's why they don't see me clearly. Only the pure of heart can see. And in the least appearance, with thousands of people present, a burqa transmitted a message that shook the faithful. The time that is coming has already begun, and she added, the time to come will be very serious if we do not act. She did not refer to a distant future. She clearly said, a moment will come, and then it's here. And as a prophetic seal, she left this image, touch the foot that will crush the snake. A sign that the final battle is underway, that we have to position ourselves and that the time of definitions has come. And she left a door open. If people become and begin to pray with sincerity, the disaster will cease. The message is clear. The trial has begun, and it is still the time. But there is almost no time left. Mary insisted on preparing, to pray, to fast, to use sacramentals, to live in purity and to maintain inner peace. She said that her title, Immaculate Purity, has special protection powers in these times. And she begged, "Stay in my heart in this era. Please meditate on what I tell you. I love you and I wait for you in heaven." In the last apparition of August 6, 1995, the Virgin said it would be the last. But she also said, "I remain present in these mountains." Since then, the Montespa has been declared the official place of pilgrimage. The water continues to flow, the pilgrims continue to arrive, and the messages continue to grow. And what happened there continues to bear fruit. The Vatican did not declare it supernatural, but it could not deny it either. Well, so far, what happened in the apparitions of the Ljitmanova, which they received in Nilofat, of the doctrine of faith, and that in its resolution, Tucci forgot to mention that there was a strong message about the end of times. And I would like to ask you, why do you think the Vatican omitted the apocalyptic messages of the Ljitmanova? May God bless you, and may you know how to recognize the signs of the times.